What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unprofitable Diaries. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys my trading plan and how you can create your own. You can use ChatGPT if you want to, but it's very important that you choose yourself what will be in the trading plan. Now, what is a trading plan? A trading plan is a document. For example, it is a document where you have where you have a set of rules that you must follow when trading. Breaking these rules should not happen, and if so, you should be very disappointed in yourself. Let me put it that way. Now you think, what the fuck is rules and what kind of rules? And I'll just try and see if I can find my trading plan, and then we can read through it. Trading daily bias is not the one. My trading plan. Let's put it up here. I'll just minimize it real quick because rules. Let's see if I can remember all the rules. Just take it back real quick then. Now, the main important things that you have to list in there is your psychology, your risk management, and your exact trading style. So, for example, how much you risk on trades, how many trades a day, what session, what has to happen in order for you to enter a trade, your strategy A to Z, so you can go back if you forget anything, and you can make sure. For example, if I have to see an inverse for value gap on the 1 minute time frame in my desired direction before I enter, I have to make sure that happens every time. If a rule in my trading plan is that before I enter, I have to see an 1 minute inverse for value gap in my desired direction, and I enter anyways when there is not an inverse for value gap in my desired direction on the 1 minute time frame, I break my trading plan. And you should always think that if you win a trade, but you broke a rule from your trading plan, then it is not a win. For me, the most important thing is not to win trade. It is to follow my trading plan day in and day out with proper risk management, proper psychology, and yeah, that's it. Entry criteria, take profit rules. Take profit rules, minimum RR, stop loss rules. For example, where do I place my stop loss? Where do I place my where do I place my take profits? Can I close a trade before it hits take profits? Do I have partial TPs, which means that if I enter long here with my stop loss underneath the low and my take profit at the high with the 1 to 48 risk to reward, can I close the trade if we come up here, or do we have to go all the way up here before I am allowed to close it? Partials is another example. So if we hit here, then maybe I take off a part on my cake. So if I have an 8-piece cake and we go up in value, and then I take two bites of the cake off here, and then it continues higher. So I secure profits. Can I move my stop loss to break even? Because if we break out in my desired direction, a smart idea for me could be, if my stop loss is here, to move it to 0, so I am no risk anymore. The worst thing that can happen is that we come down to $0 profit, $0 loss, and we close the trade, which means we made $0, but we did not lose money because we moved it to break even, and break even is the middle part where we entered, where our trade will be at 0. Yeah, so partials, can I take partials, for example? Am I allowed to do that? Am I not allowed to do that, etc.? Journaling. For example, always journal trades. I don't have to do it in all caps. Journal trades. Yeah, weekly analysis. Is that something that I have to do? All these things is kind of like a playbook. It's kind of like a book where I see exactly how I trade and what rules I have, and I need to make sure I follow the rules day in and day out. You have to prioritize following your trading plan, and taking a loss is much better than not following your trading plan and taking a win. So keep that in mind. Now, the last thing I'll do in this video is just show you guys my trading plan. So, straight from the beginning. Matthias Almond Trades trading plan. Now, I have added a couple of things to my trading plan to make it look better. I've added a purpose and vision. Why I trade. I am trading to achieve complete financial freedom and create a life on my own terms. That is why I trade. That is why most people trade. My dream is to escape the 9-to-5 life forever, travel the world. This is okay, especially to places like Dubai, because I'd like to see Dubai. I've never been to Dubai. My parents do not want me to go to Dubai, and they will definitely not take me to Dubai. So I'm gonna have to do that myself. And what I'm gonna do that through is I'm gonna try and become a profitable trader, so I can fund travels and vacations like that. I want to buy my dream cars. I want to retire my parents, and I live a life filled with freedom, abundance, and fulfillment. And trading is the path that will allow me to become the person I envision. That is just a short text that I can read whenever I need to, so I know exactly why I trade. Then if we go down, I have short-term goals, I have mid-term goals, and I have long-term goals. I have short-term goals to get my first payout from a prop firm. I have not achieved that yet. Hopefully that will happen somewhat soon. I would like to pass a 5k funded account challenge. I have passed phase 1, and then I blew it on the second phase, so I have not achieved that either. Then midterm goals would be for me to pass a 100k account, reach consistent profitability, and experience a click moment where trading starts making sense after years of trial and error. Long term, I'd like to pass a 200k funded account. I'd like to receive my first large payout, buy one of my dream cars, establish myself as a consistently profitable day trader. That is the end goal for trading. Then of course I want to build other things around it, but that is why I trade. Account and capital. My current status for accounts and capital is I trade on demo right now, and sometimes profit evaluations if I find a discount. But right now I'll be trading demo for this month. Now there's like two days left in this month, and then also next month, which is November, and next month, which is December. Once I've done that, then if I'm profitable on these 2 months, then I'll buy a prop firm eval. And the prop firms I'm thinking about switching to futures. So futures, prop firms, top step, probably gonna be the one I use. My funded futures will also add, or alpha futures. Now, usually you should never change your trading plan. You should have a trading plan, and then you should say, now I'll be using this trading plan for a year. But because I'm changing to futures, because I've been trading for half a year now, and I think it makes more sense for me to trade futures when I'm somewhat ready to maybe trade on evaluations, because it will be cheaper, and I think futures is just better than trading Nasdaq and S&P 500 on indexes. So my capital size is currently in evaluation phases with 5k and higher accounts, and I also trade demo accounts, which is I just choose a demo amount that is reasonable for like maybe what I want to buy. If I want to buy a 50k funded eval, then I'll be trading demo on 50k and on a 50k demo account. Now my trading style is I'm a day trader, and I trade Nasdaq and S&P 500, and maybe later switch to still Nasdaq index and S&P 500 index, but in futures, which is NQ and ES, which is what I'm thinking about doing now. The only difference is position sizing and contract specifications. Session times. My main trading window is around 15:30 to 17:30. Yeah, my local time, which is 9:30 to 11:30, but usually I only trade to like 11, 10:50 to 11, and then I shut down. And then an alternative trading session is New York PM session, but I barely trade that, like never. I'll just have it open for some occasions if it would happen that I'd like to do that, I had time to it, or if there was a good setup. As we talked about yesterday, or not yesterday, but in the daily bias pre-market routine, I start my preparation of like drawing out my session highs and lows and etc. and forming my daily bias around 15 to 30 minutes before each session. So which means at 15:00 I start preparing. And because I'm in school, because I just finished 9th grade in this summer, so now I'm in 10th grade in Denmark and a internship. And if school limits my time, I'll still show up mentally ready and I'll show up focused. I'll take one trade a session. If the first trade is a break-even trade, then I can take a second trade, but only then. So if I take a win on the day, I close down. If I take a loss on the day, I close down no matter what, period. If I take a loss and then I try to take another trade, then I break my trading plan, and that would be very disappointing for me. But if I take a break-even trade, which means maybe we've got into profit, I move my stop loss to break-even, and then I got out at 0, which means I did not make money, but I did not lose money either. Then I can take another trade if it is a high probability and it should be de-risked. So if I risk 1.5% on the normal setup, it was a break-even trade, then maybe I should think about only risking a half to a 1% on the second trade of the day. Because that can lead to overtrading, and if you overtrade, you're going to lose money. Strategy overview. I use ICT concepts and I use smart money concepts. Key tools is for value gaps, break of structures, liquidity sweeps, order blocks, inverse for value gaps. And my strategy is a bias breakdown that I have underneath. Then I have my key level. Then I have an entry, continuation, or reversal on either continuation or reversal. After my key level is hit, I need to see this. I'll get deeper into this. This is my extract strategy. I'll get deeper into that later. After my key level got hit, which is my draws and liquidity, all these we talked about in the daily bias video. Maybe we take out these highs. That would be the draws and liquidity, will be the key levels. I need to see a 5-minute break of structure, inverse for value gap or SMT. I need to see a 5-minute continuation of a fair value gap retrace back into a fair value gap, order block, breaker block, or equilibrium. And once that's done, I need to see a 1-minute break of structure, inverse for value gap, 79% extension closure. A minimum one of them. I will put my stop loss where my trade ID is validated and my TP at other key levels, draws and liquidity, and then I'll enter. If I break anything of this, if I take a trade without having a 5-minute break of structure, inverse for value gap, or an SMT, I break my trading plan, which is bad, and I should not be proud of myself. Please, fuck. And I need to see a 1-minute confirmation of a inverse for value gap, break of structure, or a 1-minute 79% extension closure before I enter, period. My risk management, my default risk is between 0.5 to 1.5%. After a winning streak or high confidence setup, I risk 2%, and 3% I risk very rarely and only on extreme conviction. And my stop loss is always used, no expectations, and it's based on market structure and invalidation points. My reward to risk is a minimum of a 1 to 2 to 1, which is a 1 to 2, what we talked about in the risk management video yesterday. My target level is typically near recent highs, lows, or areas with probable liquidity, which means that we probably want to go there as magnets. Take profit rules. Take profit rule levels are usually set at liquidity zones. Partial TPs are allowed but not required, and I'm free to decide in the moment as long as I follow my process. Journaling and review. Every time I take a trade, I'll be talking about that later. You journal trades. You journal, you go into, you write where did I take the trade, you put a screenshot, how much did you make. I have a template for that, and I also use, sometimes I use Trade Seller because that's where I backtest. That is a pretty good software. I also just use Notion. Notion is I really like Notion too. So always journal every single trade, no matter if it's a loss, a break even, or a win. You always have to do it. If you don't do it, you break a trading plan. My mindset and discipline is just a quick reminder. For example, I understand that trading is a skill that takes time to master. I do not overtrade or revenge trade, which means I do not take too many trades. And if I lose on the day, I will not try to win my money back that day. I'll just shut down and say, all right, I lost money today. I know my strategy works, so I'll just try and get some more, and I will most likely make money one of the next couple of days. One trade per day is enough if executed with discipline. I protect my capital and always follow my rules, even when emotions run high. I trade with a long-term vision in mind. Every trade is part of a bigger journey, which means just don't be in the now. Don't think that you're going to make money now. Just trust the process. If you take a loss, shut down, come back the day after or the next week or the week after. Maybe you need to take a break. So, just refresh your mind, and you come back. If your strategy is working, you have to master your risk management. If your risk management and strategy works, you have to get a hold of your psychology. If you've also got a hold of your psychology, you just need to give it time. That's basically it. That was my trading plan, and I'd advise you guys, if you want to, you can just open up ChatGPT and you just tell it, create me a trading plan, ask me required questions, and when I have answered them, write me the trading plan, for example. And then it'll ask you a list of questions: what markets do you trade, what time frames, what trading strategy, all of these things. Just go in here, you say 1, then you ask, I trade NQ and ES, then you say 2, I trade a high time frame bias and a low time frame entry with the following conferences. You press enter once you've answered all the questions, and then it'll print you the trading plan. Just put it into a document, make sure to read it regularly, and then you have your trading plan. Yeah, that's gonna be everything for this video, guys. The next video is gonna quick about entering trades. I do not know how much I'm going to be talking about that, because it depends on what you trade. But I've been trading lots, and I've been trading contracts on futures, not that much. But I'm not sure if I'll create an entering trades video yet. I need to find out how I can show you guys. I can show you guys how I do in Trade Locker, how I enter a trade. How you do it in Trade Locker. I'll show you guys how you do it in MetaTrader 5 and 4 too. I can do that also. Yeah, you know what? I'll do that. I'll figure something out with. Yeah, I can do that. So tomorrow it's going to be entering trades, and we have in the strategy and planning section. We also have back testing, and we have journaling. And once that's done, we'll be putting it all together. I will be showing guys my understanding of strategy. The strategy I have, I'll show you guys on the charts my strategy. I'll backtest with you guys my strategy. I'll maybe create a video where for a trading day where I record me trading, what I think, why I think so. So first strategy creation, where I'll just tell you guys like that you can put this building blocks together and you can create your own strategy, and you have to backtest it, and then if it works, it works. And then I'll show you guys my strategy. I'll be talking about prop firms, which is a very good way if you're low on money and you're trying to make money. That's a very good way. Then I have a list of 7 psychology videos where I'll just be explaining my struggles with them and my understanding of them, because I'm not profitable, I am unprofitable, and I'm just showing my journey and how much I've learned so far. And then we've got a serious wrap up where if there's anything I forgot to say, I'll say them, and then we have a finishing the end. That's gonna be everything for this video. No wonder how many times I said that now. But that's gonna be everything for this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow about entering trades.